Hi, it's Megan with My Gypsy Skies and my sister Bailey. And if you follow us on Facebook, you would have saw on Friday that we posted a video that we were going to be doing a backpack tutorial at the beginning of the week. Well, it's the beginning of the week and here is the backpack tutorial.
Hi, I'm just going to be going over some things for bighorn hunting in Alberta. That's one of my favorite things to hunt and what we spend a lot of time on. So we're lucky here in Alberta that our bighorn season is from the end of the end of August until the end of October, and we can buy a tag over the counter for $50 as a resident. So as bow hunters, I'm just going to show you what to pack in when we're hiking in. That's going to be really lightweight, and this is geared towards women. So first, what I like to take, Sitka, I've been talking about to them for like 12 years about bringing in a women's line, and they finally have it, so I'm really excited about that. And I was really lucky because I got to test it out, a full system, last season. So the first thing we start with is a base layer, and so I always take in long johns, and their long johns are awesome. And then it's really important to have everything layered so that you can stay really warm depending on the conditions. So if you're starting from the end of August until October, our conditions vary a lot in Alberta, so it can be like plus 30 or minus 30 depending on the season. So always taking long johns, and then even if I don't use them or it's too warm, I can sleep in them at nighttime. And then a thinner t-shirt, like a long sleeve or a short sleeve, is always really good, and they have a couple different options for that. So I use that, and then for pants, they have a pants called Timberline pants, which were awesome this year because I always used the men's ones before in size small, and they were quite big. I had to roll the waist over a lot, so these ones have reinforced in the butt for when you're sitting and doing a lot of spotting, and if you're like kneeling down at all, they have it in the knee. And if it's really warm outside at the beginning of like the end of August, then I take in Arc'teryx pants that are really light, and these ones are good too because if they ever get wet at all or if it's rainy or anything, it just wicks the water away and they dry out really fast. And then one of the most important things you can always take is rain gear, no matter what type of condition it is, because even if it's really that wet, heavy snow, you can put on the rain gear to keep yourself dry, and that will mean the difference between your hunt being miserable or not. And then this is a great jacket that has fleece on the inside. This is one of my favorite ones because I can just put this over a short sleeve even if we're hiking in, and it keeps me really warm. Then this jacket is one of my favorites, and it's the Calvin. They have pants that go with it too. It's kind of like a down jacket and almost like a sleeping bag, I guess. And so anytime I'm sitting down and we're spotting, after you've been hiking and you're sweating a lot, and you sit down and you start to cool off of it, so I just throw this on while we're sitting down to keep warm and dry. And it's really nice because it's really packable. You can squish it down really small and get it into your pack. And then I always take in a couple pairs of gloves. So these ones are from Arc'teryx. This is a thin glove that I like to keep on all the time so that I can keep it over my wrist guard, or sorry, my release. And it fits over that great, and then I put these ones over top of it if it gets really cold, so they don't have any fingers in it. It's really warm, and they're kind of like a down, so I put that over top. And then good socks. I really like these ones from Kennetrek, but there's a whole bunch of different brands. You just have to see which ones you like best, but I really like these ones for comfort. I always take a toque, and I always take a ball cap in, and then I bring in this to cover my ears in case it's really windy for the hike in. Then I can always take it off and it's really light. Another really important thing is gaiters. I love to take these. These really help protect your pants and from any type of like rain or snow that you're hiking through, so your pants or your boots don't get filled with snow. And there's a lot of different brands with those that are good for women. You can get like extra small, and a lot of mountaineering shops have those ones. And I always take a headlamp, which is super important anytime, because you never know what's going to happen if you're going to stalk an animal really late at night, or you just had a really late night and you're getting back to camp late. You always have this to guide the way, so you're not trying to search in the dark for the trail. I always also take this seat pad. So this is just an older Thermarest that I cut down, and this is awesome because you can just take it and put it on the back of your backpack, strap it down into the side holster or anything, and then you always have this when you sit down. And another thing, so then for optics, I really like the Zeiss, the spotting scope. So either, we don't each take one, but SoCam or I will take a spotting scope. This one's really good. And then I always take binoculars with me, and these are the Zeiss Victories. They're light, and I always have a vinyl strap on, keep them right here. Then, you know, when you're hunting all the time, you're always looking no matter what on your way in or out, so I always keep them right here with me. So they're easy access. And in the hip belt of my backpack, I always have my rangefinder in there. Another thing I like to take to have really close is a dry bag, and this has my hunting license, tags in there, and the Havalon knife with extra blades, and another smaller pocket knife, and then I always keep a lighter in there too, and so it stays dry if you ever need that. And I take a medical kit. So Adam Foss had a really good idea too for the blood clotting papers. Those are really good to keep in here, and I keep band-aids, wipes, and different types of ibuprofen, little things that you would need.
And moleskin is a really good one
Yeah.
to take too.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Especially at the beginning of the season, if you're trying to work in boots you haven't worn in a while or whatever, trying to get your feet accustomed to hiking again, you'll need the moleskin. It'll really help out a lot. And then in this bag, I keep in the top pack of my backpack, so I can keep it really close to me. So this one, I always have some Kleenex, and I keep different kinds of Kleenex in here, and then wet ones too. I like to have those close, and then lip chap and hand warmers, feet warmers, a few bars. I usually take about 4 of them just for lunches and stuff, because we don't have like regular meals when we go out. I really like these too. They're called energy blocks or energy chews. So there's a couple different companies that make them. Stinger makes one, and then this is by Cliff Bar. These are really good if you're going to pack something out that's, you know, you're having a longer hike out, then you can always take these to give you a little bit extra energy. And then being a hygienist, I always have these in here, and they're like little mini toothbrushes, and I keep floss in here too.
Just in case.
That's
Gotta have those pearly whites.
That's a little extra. When you're trying to keep everything super light, we always know a lot of people who've had Mountain House, they know it doesn't always taste the best, but if you're going for a few days, it's not too bad. And it's really light, so it's really good to take. So we always take a couple Mountain House. And then for breakfast, I have, it's like a super seed kind of granola type, and then I have a regular granola that are both gluten-free. And I always take a protein powder pack, or in like a Ziploc bag, just regular protein powder, and I add it into here. We take some peanut butter packs too, and you put that in the morning, so you get a lot of calories, but with lighter packs. And then hot chocolate, and I take some kind of like a gel chew. We always take Hydrolyte too, or the vitamin C packages that are 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, just to help replenish, because you're out all day long and sometimes you don't drink enough water. So those are really important to put in there to rehydrate yourself. Then I really like these that I found. They're just paleo wraps, but they're coconut. So if you're tired of your Mountain House, your breakfast, granola, whatever, you can put anything in these wraps and wrap them up and eat them, and they're really good. Or even if you have like packs of peanut butter in the middle of the day, you can put peanut butter in there and roll them up. So that is always really good to take. And looks like there's a lot of stuff here, so you wouldn't take all of this over the weekend, but what we do is we have a main camp that we like to go to every weekend. So during the off season, we'll pack in stuff slowly over time, and we have a tent called a snow trekker. It has a regular wood stove in it. Then we keep everything in dry bags kind of in trees so that we can leave that there, and then we just keep bringing more stuff in over time. It really depends on the weekend what the weather is going to be like. So
And the backpack that Bailey uses is a Stone Glacier.
yeah, I love the Stone Glacier. It's my favorite backpack that I've tried, and we've tried quite a few different kinds. So this is so light. There's like barely anything. You want your backpack to be really light to start out with. You don't want it to be heavy. So there's a lot of straps on the outside, which is perfect because on the hike in, I carry my bow on the back and out, and then we have to keep it covered too. So I put it on the back of here, and then I like to keep everything that I want that's really close to be in the top pack. That's an add-on that you can get, and it's really nice because you can get the hip belt in different sizes too, so you can get them small or large, and it has the side packs on here so you can get to anything. I usually keep my rangefinder in here and a few other things, so it's really close for me to get at. And then it's nice because it also comes with a little rain cover, so you can put that over top in case it's raining. And my sleeping bag that I have is a Marmot, and it's good to -18. It's a big sleeping bag. It's really light though. I really like it. I usually pack it in and then keep it in one of the dry bags in camp so that I don't have to take it in every time. It just takes up too much room in my pack. So if I was going on a hunt that was like a longer hunt that we had to pack everything on our back the whole time, I'd probably get a different type of sleeping bag. And also, like, this is mainly for bighorn hunting, where we are hunting one thing specific and the weather really varies, and we're usually in on weekends between work. So if you were going to go on like a Dall sheep hunt, say in the Northwest Territories, like where we have had a business there, so then you would pack other things that were lighter and different.
Yeah, but like Bailey said, that her and Cam, they both work full time, so they usually go in for the weekend. And then, Friday hike in, and they're out Sunday. So they make it a point before season to pack in their heavy tent and all like their heavy stuff. And then every time they go in on Friday, they take a little bit more, and their packs are lighter. But this can be geared towards outdoor enthusiasts. Doesn't have to be hunting. It can be for backpack trips, overnight, anything. You would just adjust some of the stuff. Doesn't mean you have to take in the heavy stuff, and doesn't mean you have to take in the dental floss. No, doesn't mean you have to take in the hatchet, the scope, any of that kind of stuff. It's always nice to have your binos out there when you're hiking or anything. Doesn't really matter. But I know there's going to be males and females watching this, but it is geared towards the females. Yeah, and I know that girls, maybe they get a little bit nervous going out there if they've never gone on a hunt with their significant other. But just know that there is different layering techniques and stuff. You don't have to be freezing out there. You can be warm and comfortable.
Yeah, and so if girls, maybe it's their first time going out and they're a little intimidated, you just want to make sure that you have enough layers that you're not going to be really cold out there, because that can make the whole difference between it like ruining your first experience and you not wanting to go out versus you having a great time and loving it. So I find when I'm cold, I'm just like, I can't warm up and I am miserable. So if you can pack layers that are really light like this, then it's awesome, because then you have a really good time because you're staying warm the whole time. And if you're just doing like mountaineering, the best thing to do is go to like your local climbing store or any kind of outdoor store, and then ask experts there, or like magazines or anybody who does a lot of climbing. You can ask them for tips.
And when Bailey packs her backpack, I like to go with horses, preferably. I'd rather than pack all my stuff. But since they like to use their backpacks and bow hunt and hike in, when she does pack her backpack, she likes to distribute the weight and start out with the lightest and then work up. So you have the heaviest on your shoulders. You don't want all that lower.
Yeah, you don't want it weighing down on your hips and your lower back. You don't want things putting too much pressure on there. You want the load to be up higher on your shoulders. and that really makes a big difference. And then like throughout the year, we kind of try and stay in shape so that's not a big shock when we go out for the first time and then we're sore and can't hike the next weekend. So we have a hill by our house that we take our Australian Shepherd to all the time to run, and we put on these spikes that we use throughout the year too that are really good to have. They're called Hill Sound spikes, and the spikes are probably like this big. But you can use them in snow and ice, and they really give you a good grip. So we hike this hill that's pretty big, but we gave it the nickname the Bitch Hill. So it's pretty straight up, and we put on a pack and then keep increasing the weight every time we go, and it's a really good training tool. So we use that, and then once it gets nicer outside, we go to some more bigger hikes towards Canmore and Kananaskis and just try and hike as much as we can.
And that's the nice thing about living in Alberta too, and southern Alberta by Calgary, is that the mountains are easily accessible. You can hike, fish, all that kind of stuff, stay in shape, it's easier. And I know there is a lot of videos out here like this one. Adam Foss did one about what was in his pack. I think that he did it at Wild Sheep maybe and some other places, and online with Sika, but this one I wanted to do because there's not too many out there geared towards women. And so if you have any questions about the stuff that Bailey takes in her pack, or what kind of different gear to use, anything like that.
Yeah,
so
another one that's really good, is the boots. You want to make sure that you have really good waterproof boots, because you don't want your feet getting wet, and then you're going to get really sore feet. So there's a type of shoe that the guys at Sika and CCAT Creative and like Adam are using that are mountaineering boots. Are going more towards that. And I think I'm going to try and get type of boots like that for this year.
Yeah, we both have used Kenetrex before, which they're fine. Schnees, I use Zamberlin, but I haven't tested them too hard with the hunting for Zamberlin, but they're comfortable. And another thing that we didn't have in this video was a jet boil. We use jet boils every time we go out. You can even make coffee with them. They're perfect.
Yeah, they're nice to have on the mountain if you're going to take something for your day hike out. You take a jet boil, especially if it's rainy or cold outside. It's nice just to have something hot in the middle of the day, like make some soup or some hot chocolate.
Yeah, and there is lots of little things that maybe we didn't mention in this video, but this is the basics of what Bailey has in her pack and what she takes when she is bighorn hunting. And that's all the way, from early season to late season, and the weather can change, especially in Alberta. So if you'd like to ask her any other questions, then you can get a hold of her on Facebook, Bailey Simpson, or myself. You can get a hold of me on Facebook or go onto my website, www.mygypsyskies.com. Thanks for following.